Welcome back to the grind for another guide for my Abyss Carina's Challengers Path 3 run. Now this is Void versus Mordo, but I did use a bunch of different champions for this fight, and reluctantly I just kind of had to resort to Void. And this clip here is not a perfect run, but it's going to showcase why. The power gain can really get out of control if you can't, control it, and Void can do that very well. With his Fear of the Void active, once you get that going, once you get a couple pacifies on, then it's just, you don't have to worry about the power gain. Another nice thing is if you have two of the Decelerate debuffs, the ones that look like slows, and Fear of the Void active, you don't have to worry about evade. I believe you can shut down completely all evade, and so you'll see sometimes I'm parrying and attacking through the stun and he's not evading me, so it's a very easy way to control this fight because you're able to parry him and attack him, as well as you don't have to worry about the power gain launching him into a special 3 at any given moment. Now unfortunately this clip I do die. I end up attacking into the parry while I only had one Decelerate up, and so he evaded me and then killed me, but I did end up using him again later, and I recommend using Void for this fight. I don't personally like the slow play with Void, and I'm new to Void, so I wasn't perfectly optimizing my hits, but even still, I recommend Void for this fight for sure, unless you have a different counter you prefer to use. But unless you can control the power, this is a challenging fight. And as you can see here, he gets passive sometimes, doesn't want to throw his specials, and then he gets the power gain. So he's already holding power, being passive, and then he gets the power gain, so he's even more passive. And if you can't get him into the corner and throw your heavy, sometimes he'll just dash back if you're in the middle of the map. And you can see there, I got very lucky getting that heavy attack off just before he hit 3 bars of power, and he did end up throwing out the special attack. And so you have to really control the AI, and it doesn't always let you. So you can be playing very well and the AI just really messes you up. So you need to time your combos as best as possible so that you turn off the power gain immediately. You want to be ready to push him into the corner and throw a heavy attack early, right as soon as the power gain triggers. You want to bait special ones immediately. I recommend baiting the special one immediately, because if he gets passive, then at least you have time to figure out what you're going to do before he's automatically at 3 bars of power. So what I did here with Diablo actually worked quite well. We got a good chunk of damage off him, and what's nice is if you put that pre-fight on for the nullify, not only is that your damage dealing mode when you throw your special 3, but also you can control the power gains that way without having to throw heavy attacks if you have your Philosopher's Mix active. So I threw a bunch of special 1s to get those 8 charges, and then I went to a special 3, and now I'm throwing off the special 3. I actually saved it briefly until the power gain triggered so I could immediately turn it off again. After this, we're going to be nullifying those, I forget what they're called, but we're going to be dealing burst damage that way, and we're going to try to get up to our special 2 to refresh the poisons. And I forgot that Mordo can block unblockable attacks, so I missed that, but I got really quickly back up to 2 bars, and you can see the poisons disappeared there, but we got them back. So we got very lucky with that refresh. And now at this point, the Philosopher's Mix is going to stay active pretty much constantly, because you're gaining power back with Mystic Dispersion until you run out of those buffs, and then it's going to start to slow down, and you can revert to throwing your special 1s to then pause the poisons by throwing off the special 1 and then immediately dashing back to pause it, and then cycling your special 1s that way as well. And hopefully with his power gain and with his furies, it'll allow you to kind of keep those poisons going for as long as possible. And you can see we're actually keeping it going quite well. We got a pretty good chunk off, so Diablo is still a really good option for this fight. I threw the special 1 into the thin air so that I could pause those poisons just a little bit longer, and I don't think we're able to get up to another special 1 in time to pause it. Actually we were, look at that, we were able to pause it again, and so we're doing everything we can to go as quick as we can. We were able to remove that power gain. He thankfully threw that special 2, and we're actually doing pretty solid with these 20 poison stacks up now. And then we go to pause it again. Barely, look at that, there's just a sliver left, and so I don't think we're able to refresh or pause this one yet again, unfortunately. But we did a big chunk of damage with Diablo. He actually impressed me, but the trouble is, if you can't turn off that power gain, and if you don't have a special attack to get Philosopher's Mix active to nullify the power gain, then you're going to be in trouble. He's going to throw a special 3. Now Diablo, you can, if you're comfortable with Diablo, you can actually do quite well with it, but again, you're dealing with a lot of special attacks, and unfortunately at the end there I just just made a mistake, but Diablo actually worked surprisingly well. I actually didn't realize I kept that going on as long as it happened, but I felt like Void was just a safer option. I actually finished off this fight with Void just because you can get pretty quick initial control of that power gain and not have to worry about it. But I hope that this video is helpful. Good luck, and I hope to see you in the next video.